Academia is like a real-life game, complete with roles and rules. Over the years, I learned from those around me, and I'd like to pay it forward by sharing 7 principles to consider while navigating the academic journey. Just a disclaimer before I continue. These principles are based on my own experience. Each person's story is different, and not everything will apply to everyone. Take what works for you and let go of the rest. Firstly, create impact. We have all heard the saying, publish or perish. Indeed, our academic reward system encourages us to publish. However, nothing stops us from focusing on creating an impact to cherish approach. We cannot spend our time doing research just for the sake of doing research. I even think we should refer to our research projects as impact initiatives, with their main aim to create a positive societal change. This is what I refer to as changing the world. Secondly, marginal gains persistently lead to high impact consistently. In 2020, when COVID hit, we all went into lockdown. The world changed forever. As a professor with teaching and research responsibilities, like many others, I was working from home. All of a sudden, we had to change the way in which we did everything, from comfortable contact to unknown online overwhelm. To deal with the overwhelm of having so much on my plate, I decided to set a weekly goal. But thereafter turned my focus on what is in front of me in the here and now. We often dismiss our smaller efforts as nothing, while we don't realize that it is part of the road towards something bigger. We look at others with impressive CVs and biographical sketches that emphasizes the end product of big, hairy, audacious goals. But those CVs don't show the road to get there. The many small steps are not depicted. The footprints have been erased, and all that is left is the trophy. The reality is that each of these big goals took multiple marginal gains. I created the quote that proudly features on a sticky note in my office. Marginal gains persistently lead to high impact consistently. The quote reminds me that even though it does not feel like I'm moving forward, I am chipping away slowly. Number 3. Acknowledge your excuses and then chuck them. Vusi Tembekwayo once said that we all have our excuses, but that none of those excuses bring us closer to our goals. I had a whole list of excuses up my sleeve at the time when I was doing my PhD. My husband is a cricket coach and is away from home quite often. English is my second language. I'm living 68 kilometers from campus, doing a PhD with small kids, a full workload and no sabbatical, and my list goes on. There are many, many more valid excuses out there than the few that I could list here. But those excuses do not bring us closer to our goals. So ask yourself, how can I relieve the effect of these excuses? Can I appoint someone to help with the cooking at times when my husband is away? Will Grammarly Pro and Trinka improve my writing? Can I optimize my time available to get this PhD done? Number 4. Acknowledge your ecosystem. Acknowledge your support network. You are not doing this alone. We live within an ecosystem. Those around us help shape our paths. People influence our direction, be it through formal rules and regulations or informal corridor conversations. And it is not only the positive interactions that help us grow. Remember this. Number 6. Pay it forward. Seeing that we are part of an ecosystem, we need to pay it forward through sharing. Sharing your research data is a good place to start, within legal and ethical bounds, of course. Share your experiences to allow others to learn from you. Share the resources that you've built up over the years. Share without expecting anything in return. You are contributing to your ecosystem, and your ecosystem is teaching you valuable life lessons. Number 6. Failure is learning. In academia, we are constantly faced with peer review. In other words, people telling us where we lack and where we can improve. Sometimes we wonder if we will ever be good enough. One of my articles was only published after 7 journals rejected it. It is here where some reframing of mind is needed. Failure is not failure, it's an opportunity to learn. As Ken Blanchard say, feedback is the breakfast of champions. What can you learn from the experience? Pick the learnings out and let go of the rest. Then move on in search for the next opportunity to fail. In other words, learn. And lastly, number 7, keep the balance even if you get it right only 50% of the time. Do your best to balance it all, even if it's not perfect. When I was busy with my second master's, yes, you are allowed to ask why one would do a second master's after obtaining a PhD. I'm also asking that question. I had 3 little boys. I didn't have much time for my own needs. One Sunday afternoon, my crowd was immersed in their afternoon nap with the potential of waking up any moment. I needed 1 more hour to declare myself prepared for the next day's exam. I went to a shopping center to buy some bread and other basics and took my notes with me and studied in the car in the parking lot for an hour. Now, the idea is not to go through such a desperate measures, but to accept that desperate times call for desperate measures. And it helped. I passed the exam not because of that 1 hour, but because I accepted that at times I'm going to have to do a few bizarre things to achieve my own goals, and I was okay with that. A few years ago, I saw a tweet where the tweet reported that she had just heard some awful news and was going to eat a salad and do some yoga to cope with it. I must say, this made a profound impression on me. We often hear about someone who turns to a burger and a beer rather than yoga and salad after hearing bad news. What a great example of healthy coping strategies. You now have my strategies for dealing with the academic journey. Now grow this list by adding your own principles. Apply them in your own life. Enjoy this journey that we are on. Go out and change the world.
If you found this video helpful, smash the like button. For more useful tips to boost your research experience, subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below this video. And while you're at it, hit the bell so that you get notified whenever I produce a new video. If you need a solution to a challenge not yet covered on my channel, leave a comment in the box below. See you in the next video.